Hi everybody, it's Diane. I am working on the pages for the Golden Book Journals, and it was requested by one of my viewers that I show the process of how I put these Golden Book Journals together. So I'm going to continue to show you how I prep the book pages to go into the journal. Yesterday I did a video for one method of getting these ready. By necessity, I had to separate these pages because the edge part was torn, because this is an older book. So when I took it out of the cover, it tore. So I had to separate them and cut off that edge, and I trimmed the page down to fit into the book. It's all in the video that I had up yesterday. And I used a strip of paper to put the page back together. So that's one method, and it works very well. But I'm going to show you another method that I'm using for the other book. And this is something that Gayle came up with. And I've used it many times in my Golden Book journals. So I did the first set. I'm looking at my viewfinder because my battery light is flashing, and I started this video and the light was flashing, so I changed the battery and now it's flashing again. Just going to see how far I can get. So I already did one set of the three. They come in three signatures, or two signatures with 3 pages. So I already did one set of signatures, one set of pages. Yeesh. It's going to be fun, isn't it? So I'm just going to copy what I did with those on these pages. So I have my pages. I take this part that is usually, it's bound into the part of the book that's hinged. So when you remove the hinge, this part is extra, and the pages would stick out. So I folded that and a little bit more over. Let me measure. I don't measure, I just fold it. It's about 3/4 of an inch. And then I actually trim around it anyway to make the page smaller so that it's not right to the edge of the book cover. So I've done that with all 3 of these. Now, what I'm going to do is do something with this hinge. I would put this in the book, and pages would be in between these two pages. And then I would put this one in, and there would be another page or 2 in between. And then they end up being in the right order for reading the book. So here's what I do. This part is going to, you're going to sew here. No, you're going to sew here. So this part, no, what am I trying to do? I need to glue this part down, is what I need to do. So I'm just going to glue this. Might as well do it to all of them. I do have a number on the pages so that I don't mix them up. I have to tell you, when I put the hinges on the pages from the other book, I flipped one of the pages around so that the edge that should have been here was out here, and that put the pages in the wrong order. So then I had to cut that hinge and flip it around right and put another hinge on it. Just to have the pages in the right order. If you don't care, then it doesn't really matter. Okay, now these are ready. Now, I'm going to, like I said, sew right in here, because I'll have pages, this is the center of the signature, so I'll have the stitching right there. But I have this little flappy thing that's just going to be hanging out here, so we need to do something with that. So what I'm going to do is add a page to it. So you get bonus pages in your book when you do it this way. So I know that I trimmed my pages down to 7.5 inches. So I'm going to cut this scrap to 7.5 inches. And I'm going to leave it the width that it is. Whatever it is, it was cut off from my paper, and it's just a tad over 4.5 inches. So I'm going to glue that. And I'm going to sneeze. Don't want to get it right down in the crease, but pretty close to it. If you put it right down in there, then it won't move very smoothly. Okay, so now I will, let's say these are the pages of the book. I'll come to here and I'll turn this and I'll have this extra page. And then I turn it over and I've got this showing. So I want to cover that up too. So there are different ways you can do that. So for this one, I'm going to make a pocket. This is a fun page, so I'm going to use that to make a pocket. Got 2 pages there. And I will cut the pocket to 2.5 inches. And that looks like a good size. And I'm going to punch a thumb hole in it, just because I like to. Don't need to. And then glue it down. And then of course you can embellish the pocket. You can embellish it before you glue it down if you wanted to do some sewing to it. But for now, I'm just going to leave it and we can come back to it. I just want to show you how to put these pages together. Did I forget to put glue here? Okay, so there's one thing you can do with the page. And once I have all of these together, I will insert them into the book so you can see how they go into the book. Now, for the next one, I'm going to flip this over to the front so that the extra pages aren't all in the back part of the signature. So I'm just going to do that and then add a paper. Add it this way. You can put it on whichever side you want to. And for this side, I'm not going to make a pocket. I'm just going to put a strip on. You can use washi tape or just a strip of paper. I think I'll just use this coffee dyed paper. On this one, I used patterned paper. So doing the golden books does take extra time to prep the book pages, for sure. But once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. It doesn't take that long. And then for the last one, again, I'm going to add it to the back. But I wanted to do something different, so I cut this in a curved shape, just for fun. Never done that before. But I just thought it would be fun, so I'm going to try that again. And I'm going to use this piece. Going to trim off that edge there. And to cut the circle, I just took this candle shade that I've had for years. It's dusty. And I'm going to trace around it. And then I'm going to just, I'm not measuring, and it won't be even. Well, it could be if I trim this part off first. I want this part to be thick enough. I don't know if I made it thick enough to cover that. I guess it's pretty good. So now I'm going to flip this over. And trace around it. There. And now I'll just glue that on. Hang in there, battery. Maybe I just never put that battery on the charger. I think that's probably what happened. So let's just hope it has enough juice. Now I want to put a pocket over here. Again, you could just put a strip here, but I like to have the extra pocket, and I think this color would look cute with that pattern. So I will cut this to the right length. How deep did I cut that? 2.5 inches. So this is just a little extra fussing that you don't have to do, but it just created a fun element, I thought. So I'm lining that up and trimming it. This doesn't quite cover that little corner, but I can cut off this little corner of the flap. to smush out too much, so I'm thinning it out. Okay, now I have all of the pages prepped. Now I need to put them in the book. So I'm going to put them in the same order I have them in this book. So I'm going to use this as a guide. Let's put them all in the right order first of all. So here is page 1, page 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I have my cover of the signature, and then the first page. Oh, I need to cut some more of that for this book. Oh, there it is. Just have it reversed. Okay, then I have the next page. Oh, let me show you. When you're putting it in, you might put it in here, because I've done that. But I've caught it before I've sewn it in. The pages that you put in between have to go between the two book pages. Not here, or else the book will not be in order. So make sure you're putting it between the two book pages. Okay, so then I have this one. And in this case, the flap will be on this side, and then the book page, and then more pages. Some glue or something here. I haven't even glued in this book yet. Then I have a grid page, and then the third signature that's going to go into this book. So I have the page, the rest of the signature pages, then this page, and then the flap. So that signature is all put together. And now I will do it in this book, this signature. Page 4. I don't erase my numbers until I have the book all sewn, because while I'm decorating it, I'm removing pages. I want to make sure they all get put back where they belong. Oh, this signature doesn't get book pages. This one does. And just so you know, if you're wondering why I write the number way up here instead of right down in the corner, it's because I trim the papers off. I number the pages before I trim them, and I have trimmed the numbers off before. So I try not to do that. Okay, the pages are assembled for both books. Then when you're putting the book together, when you're sewing everything together, you just need to make sure you have the signatures in the right order so that the pages will be in the right order. So there's Mr. Rogers. And here is Captain Kangaroo, which, as you can see, I started working on embellishing the pages. So that's the second method, and this, you can see this book is just a little thicker because it has the additional flap pages on it. So those are two methods for preparing little golden book pages to include into your journal, or any kind of book page, really. Thanks for watching, and I will be back again. I'll change my battery, and I'll come back and do a little more work. See you soon. Bye-bye.